because we don't care about our savings anymore. We're gonna just retire on our board game collection.
That was not part of the plan.
Yeah, we're only investing in board games. Sell all the stocks, sell the home, sell Goose. Only board games.
I think it's much more financially responsible to just sell Mike.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I'm Mike.
And I'm Kim.
This is Goose, and you're watching Tabletop Turtle. And today we have a pretty sweet haul video. Quite a bit of games that we ordered. Games only increasing in value. Let's begin our first in our portfolio. Canvas. Canvas is a game that I don't like, but we bought it for some reason. We went to someplace in Toronto, Game Shack, because we were in Toronto visiting family or friends. And
work, actually.
Yeah, well, both. Yeah, we saw this game and Kim liked it and I hate it.
To be fair, we have played it before.
Yeah.
And it really was a debate in the store about getting games. He was going to get a game only he liked that I didn't like. Yeah. And I was like, that's not fair. I want a game that I like and you don't like. So.
But maybe it'll grow on me. We only played it like one time.
I thought it was so pretty, and I love all the games where you kind of like create your own card.
Hey, describe it. Tell them what the game is.
This is not gonna be good. Sorry, guys. But it's basically where the goal of the game is to collect different icons on these plastic sheets, and you slide these sheets, the plastic sheets, on a little background, a little canvas that really has a piece of art on it, and you're kind of trying to make a cool art piece, but they never make any sense. Also complete these objectives for points at the end of the game.
It's just set collection. With
but
pretty
it's so
pictures.
pretty.
It's not that pretty, but we'll see. I mean, the box is pretty. It is a pretty box. Yeah. We'll try it again. Hopefully it's good. We'll see. If not, we'll just sell it. The main reason we went to the game store in the first place, we only went for one game and then we got carried away.
As per usual.
As it goes. This is the game we were looking for because this surprised the heck out of us. And I don't like deduction games, but I really like this one.
I've never played Clue, but they kept saying it's kind of like a social deduction version of Clue.
Yeah, a little bit.
This would be so much better. We played it only with 3 players, but I can't wait to play it with a bigger group too. I feel like
I think it'd be better for 4 maybe. Yeah. I don't know about 5, but 4 is good. If you don't know the game, you're basically just going around and it's a deduction game, so you're trying to find out who killed whoever the guy is, and you're given these sort of clues that come via cards, and you can trade those cards with other players.
Yeah, and the fun, I mean, some of the layers of this game are really cool. So like in traditional deduction-based games, you don't often interact with other people that much. You all have your own clues that kind of
like head down, like
and it's a race to the finish line. Whoever guesses first kind of wins. With this game, the added layer of complexity is how much do my opponents know? Can I confuse them with some of the clues? Am I repeating the clues?
Feels like you're all like competing detectives that all showed up.
Exactly. And plus, some of the clues are not necessarily true or accurate because they can, the characters can lie to you. Right, so it's so many layers. Like you don't really get lies and like false information in the deduction games.
It's true.
So it's really well done. Yeah, absolutely try this.
Absolutely.
Highly recommend.
Next, we opened it because we wanted to play it. Planet Unknown. There's a part of me that feels like this game will get old eventually, and that the big Lazy Susan thing is kind of gimmicky. But I do enjoy it. I like it. So if you're not familiar with this game, it's like a tile laying game basically.
But you lay these tiles down, and then we played the version where you have the unique boards. I don't know if there's
like a basic version,
like a standard version, and then a unique. Each player board is different, and you also have these tracks. So each tile laid down kind of gives you resources, or it corresponds to a certain track. And you move up these tracks and score in the game is like based on where you are on these tracks and your personal objectives.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I didn't like was that the player powers, they don't, like, correct me in the comment section, but they don't seem balanced at all. Like there were some player powers that are directly just, they prohibit you from doing things. So it's a deterrent, or not a deterrent, but it's like a handicap. Whereas the other player power, it's like a slight handicap, but there's a positive benefit too. And you're like, what the hell? Like I have a handicap, you have a positive benefit. This doesn't make any sense. And then next up, Marvel United. I had bought this for a friend for watching our dog with us, but he had a version that had a different extra character because we have, what is it? It's Venom. Whereas I don't remember what he had.
Bumblebee?
Oh yeah, it was the Wasp.
Yeah,
it was the Wasp. And I was like, who the hell wants the Wasp? Nobody likes the Wasp.
Yeah, Bumblebee's from...
So I took his copy because I bought this one for him. So sorry, if you're not watching, it's okay. I wanted the Venom. Yeah, it's a game we played once, and we weren't actually big fans of it, but it was super cheap. It was so cheap. And I do kind of like the idea of having like a fairly light, quick, cooperative game. You know, like maybe at the end of the night, when everybody's kind of a little tired. And it's like chibi, giant head, bobblehead miniatures. So Marvel Crisis Protocol, Marvel United. It's a good game if you're unfamiliar with it. You just beat monsters basically. You beat the bad guys, and you go from place to place and play your cards, and you have to combo in a certain way, which is unique, which is pretty interesting for a cooperative game. Is that like I can look to the person to the left and sort of try to combo off the card that they played. It's a neat mechanic. And next is Bad Company. Bad Company.
We have mentioned this game in like I mentioned it earlier, but we also mentioned it in our last month's games that we played.
Yeah.
And yeah, we literally bought Bad Company and Awkward Guess.
Yeah, it's a solid game, especially if you like those sort of Machikoro, dice allotment, like beef up your certain numbers on your dice. I actually might get rid of the Valeria one we have, because I feel like you don't need many of those types of games. Plus we have Dice Town, and Dice Town's the same thing too.
Yeah, a lot of games have like very similar kind of like gameplay mechanics and combinations. And sometimes it's just kind of like the one that executes the theme best.
Exactly. Or the mechanic best. Or something that has like an interesting hook where it's just like, oh, this game's better than this game. Because there's sometimes when you're going to pick certain games where like, yeah, you want to dice, whatever this mechanic is called, you want that dice selection mechanic, but you don't need like 5 games that have that same mechanic because you only crave it occasionally. And some games just do it better. We thought this game did it really well. It's pretty light, so it'll be easy to bust out with new players.
I think that's the important component for us too, is that we often have a lot of friends. We don't always have the same friends that come play board games with us. We often play with new friends. And I think that's kind of why, and we don't want to play the same games again and again. And if you only have like a handful of games that not necessarily beginner friendly, but easy to teach or easy to understand, like feel intuitive almost, it gets really boring really quickly.
It does. So it's good to have a big giant collection. So if you only have a tiny little shelf, shame on you, buy more games.
No, if you have a tiny little shelf, I would say, make sure you have a diverse range of games.
Yeah. And
that all of them can be easily taught.
Yeah, so if you need this sort of dice selection thingamajig, I don't know what the mechanic's called, buy Bad Company. And lastly is Flamecraft. Talk of the town, or was the talk of the town like a year ago.
This was the game where, this was one that caused the fight at the game store, where I was like, you want to buy Flamecraft?
It was so cheap.
I don't
it was like 35 Canadian
at all.
37 Canadian. She doesn't like it that much, but it might grow on her.
I like it this much.
But it's really easy for new players, and it's really attractive.
Are we new players?
No, but we were just talking about how sometimes you have new people over, and I think new people like Flamecraft.
It can just be so easy. You have to have some kind of learning curve for them.
I can't even describe what the game is. You're basically just going around. I can't tell if you are the dragons or the dragons are helpers, but you go around to these like market stalls, and you're basically just playing these dragons and getting resources and doing a bit of set collection so that you could fulfill contracts. It's pretty simple stuff, and it's nothing you've seen. It's nothing new. Nothing in here is new.
What was so upsetting for me about this game was, it was so pretty. People loved it, and then every card in the same kind of like store type was the same ability, and that sucks.
Well, there's only there's 5 abilities.
No, the art in the card was different. Like each one looked different, but all the abilities were the same, which was like, okay, so you put like so much effort into the art and it to look so cool and be so unique, but then you put in 0 effort into the game itself.
Well, I think they wanted the game to be a little simpler. They didn't want like 1,000 different powers where you have to like reference this like quick reference sheet and be like, oh, what does Dragon 2A do? Oh, what does he do? Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't like boring games.
It's a light game. It's supposed to be a light game. And that wraps it up. That's all the games we've purchased recently. Not that much. Hopefully we have.
What? Okay.
There's only 6 games.
Okay, I think people on YouTube are like, we're not comparing ourselves to huge channels where they collect each haul is like 40 games. We're buying every single one of these games with our own money. We still need to pay for our mortgage and food and there's this huge appetite.
Let us know if you tried any of these games and if any of them stand out to you.
And if you agree with me that Flamecraft is disappointing.
Yeah, or the Planet Unknown, if it's all unbalanced and bad.
And if you like Canvas.
Canvas sucks.
I really like it. I think it's just so light and fun.
It's got the Dice Tower seal of excellence. We need that. We need like a little symbol.
Because Dice Tower knows what they're talking about.
We need some.
They like good games.
Tabletop Turtle seal of turtleness.
Why would it be a seal?
Turtle Gang approved.
That's what I'm saying. Like it should be a mini turtle on it instead of
one day we'll be there. We only got 500 subscribers, but one day we'll get on the back of the box one day. All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you in the next one. Peace.